Hey everybody, coming to you live from an undisclosed location here in the northeastern United States, possibly outside of my house. Just got back from a beautiful bike ride, and I mentioned that because I think that's important for what I want to talk to you about today. That beauty is a good way to counteract feelings that people can get when you're dealing with setbacks, and I want to talk about writing setbacks specifically. Because one of the things that occurs to me is that there's all of this discussion out in the field about how to deal with situations when something happens within your writing career. And there are all kinds of things. Most of us have stories like this, where you got ghosted by somebody who had expressed real interest in your work, and then they just never respond to you. Or, a publisher that had promised real interest and an editor was really into it, and then they weren't. Or a series that got orphaned. And just in case you're wondering, no, not all of these things have happened to me, but the series thing did happen to me, where there was a book that was published and the publisher was really into it, and then after book one came out, they stopped publishing fantasy altogether. And so I was out of luck and I had an orphaned series. And the problem with orphaned series is that they're very hard to sell to anybody else because a publisher, some other publisher thinks, well, I want to start with book one. Like, I don't want to pick this up sort of midway through. It's going to affect sales, etc. So the question is, there's all kinds of practical advice about what you can do about this, about doing your research, about what publishers do in general, their overall stability. But no matter how much research you do, there are going to be issues where things come up. And this happens to everybody all the time, even in the middle of their careers, by the way, successful careers. And so, then you could do research afterwards. Well, are there publishers that pick up orphan series, and how do you deal with that? But I'm not so much interested in that as I am interested right now in the psychological and emotional question of how you recover from something like this. Because I find myself bristling more and more at the sort of panels or, advice that you get that's like, well, you just have to pick yourself up and, dust yourself off and get back on the bike. And that's the only thing you can do. And the reality is that that's much easier said than done, right? Once you've poured your heart and soul into something, it's very hard to be like, all right, well, just pick that heart and soul up and get rolling again. Like, we don't function that way as human beings, it seems to me. And people, and there are many of them, who have given up in the industry because they've taken multiple hits to the solar plexus, metaphorically like this. They weren't failures, they were real human beings. What I have done is try to, in those situations, refocus on what I know. And what I know is that I think I am a good writer. I've worked hard at it. What I know is that I have colleagues and friends who can help me, that I can turn to, who have stories like this as well. And what I know is that I still have stories to tell and things to share. If you can look back to that basic reality, that you have stories to tell, things to share, and that only you can do it, I think you'll find yourself in a better position going forward. Much more to say about it, but that's all I've got for right now. I'll see you folks later in the week.